Hi everyone, welcome back. I thought I would do a couple of quick videos, this one and, well, you'll see when they come out. This is going to be my colour catalogue, so this is every colouring medium that I have, and there's one or two of them. And every time I get a new one in, I then add to my colour catalogue. It's not perfect, and it's sort of in sections, but not really. Anyway, this is just a box standard binder. It's about 1.5 inches ish, thereabout, and I literally just stuck a label on it to say Colour Caddy because that's what I call it. So in here, and hopefully you'll be able to, oh there you go, you can see all of it then. In here I have a couple of things. Ignore this at the top. These are some printables from Ranger ink, and they are to go on top of these ones I use for the tops of my distress paint and the embossing glazes. So as I get them, I just use a little circle die, or if you can punch it out. I actually don't have circle dies really that fit this, so I actually use the eyeball from a Halloween set, but it's a perfect size to just go around that edge. You could hand cut them as well. So these are all ready to go, so as I update this part, that gets done at the same time. And then here I have some of the mini ink cubes of lawn fawns that I've started collecting. These are just so I know which ones I have, because they come in sets with different names. So in the front here I have, and I showed you these years ago, of how I was keeping a colour catalogue, and these are just coin pockets. So I just got them off Amazon. You can get them just about anywhere, any stationery store, and these are really, really handy for, well, you'll see how it works in a minute if I can get to it. I also have in the front, and I think this is just good for anybody who, you know, is a bit sort of like if you're not sure what colours to put together and that sort of thing, just grab a colour theory. This is just, I just googled this. It's only for home use. I'm not selling it or anything like that. That would be wrong. So I'm just using this for my own personal, to see primary colours, tertiary colours, how, you know, opposite colours that you can use together, like blues and oranges, that sort of thing, or ones next to each other. And it just helps when you're trying to put colours together for projects, I think. So I have that in the front. Then I have, to start with, I have my distress ink. So these are the regular distress inks. And what I do is I have, these are actually printables from Jennifer Maguire from years ago. So I do actually have the distress ones. But I also have her, like a copy of the one that she did that was like a blank one, so you could just type in the names. Honestly, in the end, I just use copy paper, cheap as chips. And then what I actually ink onto and stamp onto is the type of cardstock I would actually use with that product, or as close to it as possible. So I wouldn't put this onto copy paper because I'm not going to use copy paper with it. So distress inks and certain things I've left, you'll see some of it needs redoing, but when I've done like my distress inks, I redid all of them. And this is an 1 inch by 1.5 inch piece of like a watercolor cardstock. I then stamped with circle solid stamps so I could see the color, and then I also just blended on the side so I remember that's what I can do with it. So you don't have to blend on the sides. I did with my distress inks and oxides just because that's what I use them for, but it's just a nice way to see the colour as well. And then with these pockets, these coin pockets, you can use it on both sides quite easily, but I actually find it better just to be able to flip like so. That's just me. So, but if you are out of space, then yeah, use the back. You have to go through the front to get the back, if that makes sense. That might have sounded weird, but you know what I mean. And then what I did at the time is I actually, the ones that I knew that I would still need, so like some of my distress inks I don't have all the colours, then I would just pop them in place in order, and I'm OCD, so they have to be in rainbow order. But once the new colours have started coming out from Kitsch Flamingo on, I've actually just put them in the back here, and then what I'll do is once I have you know, the rest of them, I'm assuming there's 12, but I don't know that, so don't quote me on that. But if any more than 12 come out, Tim, I've run out of space to store them, so I'm going for 12 maximum more in his colour range. So yeah, I already know that there's a couple more that I need to add to that anyway to actually, you know, complete the actual collection. But once I then have all of them, I can then rearrange the colours so they're in colour order. So my oxides, same thing. Did them exactly the same way, and isn't it just pretty? Then for my, this is where some of them need redoing, but I'm okay with this because this is just a solid stamp of a dyeing. So distressings work a little differently. They are a little more like for blending specifically, and you know, different techniques and things like that. So for me, these are my Lawn Fawn ones. So again, I put all the colours in there that I hope to get one day. And then so far, put in the ones that I do have. This is copy paper, so I say don't use copy paper if you want to see what it's going to blend on there like. If that's even English. But it will go through the paper. So I'm okay with this. But you may want to use a better paper like I did with the distressings. And then I have Stampin' Up. So for my Stampin' Up ones, I don't know if you guys can see this, I've got, they come in, start again, the collections, the colour, what am I trying to say? The family, each colour collection has 10 colours, so there's 20 pockets on here. So I've done, say, neutrals down here, because I can get the 10 down there, and then I've done the brights like that. Just worked out easier. I could label the top so I know these are the neutrals, these are the brights, etc. I did at one point, before they changed all their colours a few years ago, I had all the markers. I don't actually have a lot of these. I have the in colour ones over here because they don't even exist anymore. So I have the reinkers and the ink and the markers for these ones, but I actually gave the rest of these ones to my mum when they redid all their line. I didn't want to take some of the colours out and then have empty spaces and all this malark. So, and I didn't know how they were going to bring back those new colours. You know, yeah. So eventually I'll get on top of that again, because I actually quite like them as markers. They are nice markers to use. So, and it's easy to grab a bunch of markers than have a bunch of ink pads on your desk if you're short of space as well, when you want to use them for like watercolors and stuff like that. So I have those. Then I have some Rgb and Hex Codes. These are just handy. These are from forever ago. This is paper tray ink from like 9 million years ago. So I still have the colours. There's just some colours on here I really like. And if you've got like the print and cuts or anything where you can print something and then cut it out, if you've got Brother Scannon cuts, you can do things like that, Cricut, that kind of stuff. It's handy to have Rgb codes for certain colours that you really like. This was also just almost like a colour combo of the two colour families. Oh no, this one I didn't have, but this colour family is the in colours that I do have. That it's just combo ideas of like putting those different colours together. So again, even if you don't have this specific brand, these are just nice because you can go, well, I need putting a blue, a green, and then sort of burnt orange together. Beautiful. More colour Rgb codes. All the Stampin' Up ones from forever ago, because I actually, before they redid all the colours, actually was in love with most of those colours, so I was gutted. But anyway. And then I have, and again, these are some of the ones that I need to redo because they are a mess. But it's enough reference. This is what this is. This is a reference for you guys to see what colours you have, how they work, all that sort of stuff. If you want them more specific like this, where you can see how they work on specific paper, then obviously put them on that paper. But this is more a color guide for me, so I can go, oh yeah, I've got pink or I've got red or whatever. So these are my Bombay inks, and there are the set that I've got, there are actually 2 sets. Can I find the second set now? No. so I have random. That's why there's a lot of empty space. But I love my Bombay inks. I actually make my own homemade inks, spray inks from that, so I'll do another video on that. And then I have the Glazes, the Tim Holtz embossing glazes. I love these things. They're beautiful colours. This is just on copy paper. I literally stamped and embossed them on there, so I could just see the colour. But you need to watch Tim's video on the glazes, because there is a million things you can do with it. It's not your average embossing powder, just put it that way. That's why it's called a glaze, not an embossing powder. So again, I just used Jennifer's template thing and printed this onto copy paper, and then they fit. These are like 2-inch squares. Then these are my normal embossing powders, and again I have the Tonic Studio. I love Tonic Studios as well, so I have the Tonic Studios ones that I want to get. Yes, I know. And then I do have a few odd things. So I've got Distress in Black Soot, Distress embossing powder from 10+ years ago maybe. I love the stuff. I still don't quite get it, but I don't want to get rid of it. And then I have like a glow in the dark one. So I have a couple of odd ones that I don't want to get rid of yet. And then I have a few Stampin' Up ones here that I'd like to get the different colours in, because again, they're nice embossing powders. And then of course Lawn Fawn, the ones that I'd like to get hold of at some point in my life. And then I have UT and some Cosmic Shimmers down here. So again, these are just an inch by 1 inch, an inch by 1.5 inch blocks that I've then stuck onto this, you know, where I've got the name on it. So then the next one I have are, can't talk. These are my Brusho Colors. So these are highly pigmented colours. I've done a couple of videos on these powders in particular, but these are highly pigmented powders, and like watercolor powders, and they are so cool to play with, because like purple is not just purple, it's got all these sort of fragmented colors within it. So when you then play with it, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, it's got like a bit of blue and a bit of green and a bit of yellow and red, and it's just, when you do the colour burst thing, which is what I try and show on a few of my videos, it's a whole other world, guys. So I have those, and those are not pearlized, so they're just a matte finish. Then I have Perfect Pearls, I have 3, and then I have the, you know, like 3 metallics. And then I have the Cosmic Shimmers. This was a set, can't remember the name of the set, but I think it was the Christmas little set, so there's 6 colours in there. And then these ones here are also the I've got 6 of them. I bought them individually, but these are 6 of the Cosmic Shimmer in the, these are Pixie powders. So these are kind of like Brushos, but with pearl, or they are like the one, can't think what they're called, but the Tonic Studios have a similar powder. Same idea, where it's like a pearlized powder that sort of, when you do different techniques, it kind of goes like that, just like that. Right, my camera's going to overheat. Lovely. Right, so I'll be quick-ish. So then I have one for alcohol ink. A lot of these templates you can get off Ranger's website. Just download them, and then you can add little pieces. So I have some alcohol paper that I cut out into little blocks that again I just stick above the colour once I've got the colour. These are the pearls, and I don't know if there's any more pearls, but these are the ones I have, and yes, I'm stroking the paper. Again, I just put them onto little blocks of, what's the name, and I love them. I mean, look at it. I mean, I know there's a bit of shine from the plastic, but I hope you can still see some shimmer. Oh, I lied. Right, and then I have my Pebeo Prisme, Moon and Vitrail, I never know how to say that word. These are just, you know, a whole other world. I don't actually fully know what to do with them all. I've played around a couple of times on a couple of cards, but they give some very cool, like, I don't know what the word is, but like patterns and stuff. So they work very, very nicely. This one gives like a honeycomb effect, that's the word. So again, this is literally on paper, so you see what I mean, it goes straight through. But it just gives me an idea. But you do want to vent when you're using those. They are woo, pongy. Then again, I've got another template from Ranger, and this is for distressed stickles. Not even sure you can get distressed stickles anymore, but I have 3 colours. There's one down here. And then I have my Nouveau, so I have the glow drops, and again these came from their website, so Tonic Studios website. Glow drops, and then the crystal drops, and it also gives you a little breakdown here of like the clear effect, the gloss and the metallic, and which ones were new for 2019, so that's how old these things are and have been in here. And I popped a dot on there and let it dry, but it's still got a bit squashed, so it's fine. It's only a colour reference anyway. And then the gilding flakes, I have one because I don't know what to do with the stuff. Hopefully I'll get better at it. And then Glimmer Paste. These 3 for me are still beautiful. My white one kind of died a death, and so so did my Tanzanite, so I actually need to get some more of those. And then these are the mousses that I am reviving even more so than before, so I need to show you guys that as well. But these are the mousses. I love them. They also got like shimmer in them. They're beautiful. And then I have, so I kind of have them in sections. I have like ink, and then I have pastes and, you know, liquid paint kind of things, liquidy kind of things. So I kind of have them in sections, but they're not, you know, divided, if you like. So here I have water-soluble oil pastels. These are the portfolio ones. I made my own little doobry what's it. I mean, I got this template from online, but I just made my own sort of thing. And then these are the gelatos, and these are my distress paints, and I love them. Again, I used a piece of watercolor paper, and then I kind of like painted it on, and then I spritzed it with water so I can see the reaction. So again, that's just so I know how that works. These are the distress paints that I have so far. I say so far because I can't help myself. But yeah, there's a reason why they're these colours, but that's quite cool. Then I have Winsor & Newton watercolours. So these are my watercolours now. So I have the Cotmans. So there were 40 colours. I had to have all 40, so they actually fit really nicely on here. These are again Cosmic Shimmer. These I think were like an autumn set, but these are like a solid rather than a powder, like the powders we saw earlier. These are my Peerless watercolors. If you don't own Peerless, seriously try it. It's such a cool thing. And if you don't know what it is, then shout and I'll let you know what it is. These are Ganza Tambis. They came in a pack of 36, so perfect. I think 36 colours, if you're starting out for anything, is a good number. 24 to me is just not quite enough, and 48 or above is almost like too much if you don't know what you're doing with them, or you're not obsessed with them like I am with some stuff. So I think 36 is a good number if you're starting out. I have Mission Golds. Again, these came in a pack of 36. These were expensive, so they were a birthday present, but I love them. Actually, I love all my watercolours. These are Artist Loft watercolours. Now these are kind of a chalky finish. Not my favourite kind of watercolour, but I really like them. They were like £3.50 for the thing of all these colours. There's no names, so it's just those are the colours. But £3.50. Hello. And then they also had like a pearlescent version, and I do like the pearl. The pearls that's really nice. It's creamy, kind of pearlescent-y colours. And then we have my Polychromos. So again, I've got like not many. So I'm loving these, so I will probably start buying and extending my collection of them. And then Prismacolors. Now Prismacolors are a little bit different to this. These are much harder as the pencil goes, the lead goes, than these ones. These are more waxy. So, and when you're actually colouring with, not at the same time necessarily, but when you test both out, you'll then notice that difference. So they do, this builds up more of a layer than this one does. So depends what you're doing with them, but they're both great pencils. Inktense, I have the blocks, and again I just have a set of 12. They're beautiful though. They are very intense pigmented blocks of colour, and you can, you know, grate, for want of a better word, or shave pieces of it off. You can use it on fabric, you can use it on all sorts of stuff. So very nice, but I haven't gone that far with them. And then distress markers, I have a few. I'm not sure if I'm going to get any more than this. I don't know. I think if I'm using distress, I'm going to use my ink pads more than anything. So I don't know. I just don't get on with them very well. Who would have thought? And then these are my Zig Clean Colour Real Brush markers. These templates actually come from Jessica Frost-Ballas. I think her website is allthatsparkles.com. Oh, in fact it's on here, allthatsparkles. allthesparkles.com, and she did this great template, and I just used strips and then extended the lines across of watercolour paper again. One so I could put just on regular copy paper the actual colour, and then so I could water, like, so I drew a bit and then I sort of used a watercolour or a paintbrush and water, because you know what I'm like with those other aqua marker things, and then just drag the colour out so I could see it as a water colour. But you can use these on Bristol Smooth. They work really well on there. That's probably the best paper for them. Then I have a Copic Chart, which again you can download this from Copic Direct, or whatever their website's called, copicmarker.com, and this just gives me an idea of all the colours. I like the chows, and I eventually managed to find someone who, bless her, had done this whole chart just for the chows, because the chows for me are, they're just a round barrel and that's easy for me to hold. So for me this makes the most sense to get these, and there's 158 colours. If I'm not happy with 158 colours, there is something wrong with me. So yeah, slowly building up that collection because it is expensive. But these ones, at least you can refill them. So that's where I kind of balance out the fact that the pens are quite expensive to start with, but you can actually refill them, which is great. A lot of alcohol markers, they might be less expensive, but you have to replace the whole marker. So just something to bear in mind if you're starting out. This is Jana Smakula's, like her guide as to her favourite colour combos for Copics. And just while I'm here, I really hope she's okay. She was doing loads of updates. She lives in Ukraine. I honestly hope everybody is doing okay there. It's just awful what's going on there. But anyway. And then I have, these are, which ones are these? These are my Sharpies. And I think my camera's going so close and it cut out. Right, really quickly. These are my Sharpies. I kind of guessed on the names. I had to sort of search online quite a lot. But the names are not on the markers. That would be handy. Sharpie people, whoever makes them, that would be really handy. And also because the lid colours, like these lid colours, are really similar. So it's a guess. But I have my Sharpies here. They're alcohol based as well, but not refillable. And then these are my big market markers, which again are not refillable, but they are an alcohol permanent based marker. So these are also really great. I've used these on a card before as an alcohol marker. Perfect. Like, you could still blend a few of these together and get nice blends. They're alcohol markers. Gonna work. Or just try and test it out and see what happens. So I think, oh, the last thing I do have in here, which has nothing to do with colour, well, it does have to do with colour, but it's not colouring mediums, is I have a couple of these, which I don't think I'm even going to do, because I kind of know what I have in my stash are the Lawn Fawn cardstock swatches, which again, they have their own swatch thingies on their website. I already had the other thing going for their ink, so I didn't download that, but they even have a card swatch thing that you can add to, so I might still one day do that, but I might not bother because my cardstock lives somewhere else. So this is more for my colouring mediums. So I hope this was helpful. I know the video got cut off in the mid-flow, but anyway, I hope this was helpful. Gives you some ideas of different ways. You know, you've got your pockets, you've got just a block of things, you know, the different names and that sort of thing. Different ways you can actually catalogue the colouring mediums that you have. I hope this helps you guys out. And I will see you very soon. I'm very glad to be back. Oh, and thank you to everybody who likes, subscribes, hits the notification bell, because that means you'll see more videos. You'll see the videos as they come up. And comments. I do read all the comments. I'm still trying to catch up with my own life. So I will definitely respond at some point. I'm trying to, that's like, I was going to say it's a New Year's resolution, but we're like nearly in the middle of the year. You know what I mean. But I read them all and I'm so grateful for you all. So I hope that you will be back to see the next one. And I will be back with something else soon. Until next time, guys. Bye for now.